Can you see my screen?
Sure can.
All right, we just lived. We just live to the on the YouTube channel, and let's take a quick look at our current milestone for either notation and ratify. So for Notary project, two releases that we are currently planning. For notation, we're currently working on 2.0 beta 1, which is the upcoming milestone for notation CLI. And only one remaining issue for this release is the cozy hash envelope support for block cozy signature. This one we have a related specification in the specification repo. This is the latest milestone for 2.0. And after this, we will have an RC version, a release candidate, before we officially release Notation 2.0. So Joshua, as you remember, last time we demonstrated the end-to-end block arbitrary file signing and verification. So we are supporting one more cozy envelope for block cozy signature.
Super cool.
Sorry.
I said super cool. It's good.
Oh, thanks. And we have another pull request, which is still ongoing, which is the um, cozy hash envelope specification change in this repo. So if you are interested, you can also review this pull request to catch up.
Will do.
For Ratify, we are currently working on a new release for Ratify 2.0 Alpha 1. This is the current milestone. Let me see. This is not released yet. It's still, we are polishing the release notes, but all of the related changes have been captured in these draft release notes. So basically, we don't have new features introduced in Alpha 1. The primary change for Alpha 1 is to refactor the underlying framework so that it can be more extensible for new framework or new plugins integrated into Ratify 2.0. And we decoupled the core Ratify repos into several repos, including Ratify Core, Ratify Go as a library, and Ratify CLI. Previously, everything is in the same repo. Right now, it's decoupled with a more lightweight framework.
Very cool. I remember chatting about that a while back. So this is really, really awesome progress.
Yeah. In
That'll
last,
make the project a lot easier to work with.
thanks. I noticed we have a new guest, Rahul joined. Hey, Rahul.
Welcome.
Hey,
Welcome to the community meeting. I assume you are the first time you are the new guest for this meeting. If you want to introduce yourself, it's welcome.
yeah, hi. My name is Ron. I'm trying to integrate Notary using a it in my organization.
Welcome, Rahul. Sounds like it's a bit noisy. There's some background noise from your side. Okay. Uh, we are just sharing the recent status of Notary project and Ratify and the upcoming milestones for these two projects. Note that in Ratify 2.0 Alpha 1, we have only notation verifier supported in this release. The next verifier that we're gonna support is cosign verifier because there are a bunch of users who are still actively using cosign verifier in Ratify 1.4. If you want to get an early trial of Ratify 2.0, you can also follow the Ratify guidance. There's a guidance updated for installing Ratify 2.0 Alpha 1. If we go to the website and switch to the next, then there's a guideline for installing Ratify 2.0 Alpha 1 on your Kubernetes cluster. Thanks, Rahul. I saw your message in the chat. I just typed the guidance for installing Ratify 2.0 Alpha 1. So feel free to get a try and share your feedback. And we use this discussion to track the progress of Ratify 2.0 progress for the specific features and also the underlying component.
What are the big items coming up after V2 once the refactor's done? Are there any big features that are requested to be put in?
In fact, we don't have new features introduced in 2.0. The most significant change is the underlying framework because
Oh, sure. Yeah, I was saying like after, is there any, so how close, I guess the first question is how close is V2 to being RC? Do we have an expected deadline?
I think it should take at least 2 months
2 months?
or
Okay.
longer. Yeah, because if you're looking at this table,
It's
there
a
are
lot of work.
a lot of fundamental work like as the store, policy enforcer, and executor. There's still a lot of things still waiting for maintainers to pick up. By the way, for the auth store, we would expect that related vendors can take their initiatives to implement their authentication store based on the new framework, like AWS ECR, ACR, and the Alibaba Cloud Container Registry. And for the verifiers, we are likely to support notation and cosign verifier in 2.0 and also make S1 verifier and vulnerability scanning report verifier opening for community to work on that. I just saw comments from Rah. Rahul is from OpenTable, and they are currently trying to use Notary project with Vote. Not sure if you are talking about HashiCorp Vote or HashiCorp Vote. If that's the case, we have a Vote plugin, which is still in an experimental stage, but we encourage folks to try it and we can work together to make it mature. So for Rahul, your use case, you can take a look at the HashiCorp Vault repository, and there's a quick start guidance for installing HashiCorp Vault plugin with notation. Thanks. I saw your response in the chat, Rahul. If you find a relatively silent environment, feel free to connect with us. Hey Josh, anything else that you want to be catching up for Ratify and Notary Project milestone?
No, this is a great overview. You guys do a fantastic job documenting everything on here. Like I could just go to the release, follow the conversation. So I just want to give you kudos for that. You do a really good job documenting progress and stuff. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Um, by the way, for the attestation verifier, we may not be able to support it in 2.0 due to the current resource, but we are looking for folks to start maybe specifications and investigation for attestation support, especially for the in total attestation and browse the end-to-end scenarios of supporting attestation. But this is not likely to be supported in 2.0.
Sounds good.
In notation, we have one thing that we want to move forward this week, which is the um, archival proposal of the legacy notary. Some of the new users are still confusing with the notary and notation, the terms that we use in the community. Let me switch to the community repo. So here's the proposal initiated by E to archive the legacy notary repository. And it has been open for a while, at least 1 year. And so far, I think the primary vendors like Microsoft and Docker, they are removing or deprecating support for the legacy notary in their commercial offerings like ACR and the Docker Hub, as well as Docker CLI. Currently, I think we have two org maintainers vote on this proposal with their approval. I think we may need more opinions from other maintainers to get it closed and get majority for this proposal. I was also asking folks from Docker to confirm whether any concerns from Docker side, but so far we don't have any response yet. Hey, Toddy, as you are also one of the org maintainers in Notary project, we will also need your opinion for archiving the legacy notary. Would you mind commenting on this issue? And
Yeah, I will comment. I think I commented in the past, but I'll go ahead and do that.
thanks. The goal is to get this proposal finalized and reach the super majority within this week, so that we can archive the legacy notary repository and announce that this project will not be maintained anymore in the notary project community. All right. Hey, Ralph. Not sure if you wanna open your mic.
I found a
I,
silent place. I was trying to kind of run and find a place and then trying to catch a breath. Um, Hi. So yeah, as I mentioned, like I'm trying to use JFrog. We use JFrog Artifactory, and then we are using TeamCity as our CI/CD pipeline tooling. So yeah, and we do have HashiCorp Vault. So I'm trying to kind of. So here's the question. So how? I've seen multiple talks on Notary, and I've seen one in which they use the HashiCorp Vault plugin as well. So I was going through the plugin. So here's my question. So so there's only one user in my case, which is the Team City, user, which I want my container images to be signed with. So my question is like, do I sign each image with a new private key, or is it like one private key and I sign all my container images with that? Like, so I'm confused around that. Like, how does that work?
It depends on how your security posture set up, but a lot of people use a single key, like a signing, a key generated specifically. So if you look at some of the documentation for notation, it's a restricted key where it only does digital signatures, and the properties of how the key is created, and then that key is used to sign. But then it's kind of up to your organization whether you want to have like a particular organization or dev team have their own key. Um, but most commonly, people have a single signing key or
Say,
certificate. But that's been my experience.
Gotcha. Say, for example, if I want to use multiple keys, right? How do I rotate those keys? Like that's my thought process. Like that's where I get stuck. Like if I use one key, then all right, I'm fine with doing that.
Mhm.
But if I use multiple keys, then I'm stuck with this whole. I don't know how to manage it then. Like with multiple keys. Do you have any suggestions, ideas?
For notation, I'll defer to Feynman and E and Toddy on the call. They'll probably know more. For ratify, there is the ability, depending on where you're storing the key. So if you're using like Azure Key Vault, I know you're using HashiCorp, so I don't know if this is supported, but the KMP for ratify does have the ability to auto rotate. So it'll check when you create your CRD for your Key Vault instance or like Azure Key Vault, you can say how many versions you want to support. So if you were to rotate the key inside of Azure Key Vault, it would be able to automatically detect like, oh, I'm allowing 3 versions of this key to be
Hmm.
used, and it would change it for you. So that's on the ratify side. I don't know how you would auto rotate keys on notation other than like changing the variable inside your workflow for Team City to call and pull down a different key by name or different property. Maybe they have more information on that, but I know Ratify supports auto rotation for Azure Key Vault. I don't know about the HashiCorp one. I'd have to look into it.
Okay, I see. So you're saying it's not done on the CI/CD side, it's rather done on the Ratify side. And
Mhm.
then Notation would not know about it, or Notation would know about the key changes. How would that work?
So if you look at like if the action, I think it needs a specific key name. I'd have to yeah, go ahead. He's got his hand open. I'll let him answer because he has probably a lot more knowledge on the notation side.
Yeah, so yeah, if you rotate key, the previous key, previous version of the key you signed will be um, rotated, right? So from a signing point of view, if you manage it, I mean, using Azure Key Vault, there is a automated key rotation so that you will get a new version, and in your pipeline, you will start to use the new version of the key for signing. And for the older version, um, the older version signed the images from a verification point of view. If the certificate get expelled, notation will be knowing that, and the validation will be failed.
So just a follow-up question on that. So when I rotate a key, right, the ones which are the certificate when it like expires, you mentioned it will fail the verification. So that means after some point of time, I have to re-sign my images again. Is that?
You can notation support timestamping, so you also need to and use a timestamping server that basically additional timestamping signature, which can help notation to validate images that are really signed before the key or certificate is expelled. So you need to in during signing you need to enforce to using the timestamping server, and the notation also support that. So that
Um,
means with the timestamping images that are signed before the key expel, notation can still validate successfully. And of course, for if anything unexpected happened, image signed with expelled key notation can know that it is signed after key expelled, then it will be a failure.
Gotcha. Understood that. Understood that.
So you
Okay.
need to using timestamp stamping server so that you don't need to re-sign the old images.
And this timestamping server, is it something that I have to configure on my own end? If I use Artifactory, Ratify, and like my ecosystem that I mentioned?
Yeah, timestamping server, there are some public timestamping server that you
Mm-hmm.
can use. It is not something that you mentioned the registry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is not something that tightly or related to registry. It's a different timestamping server. Their public instance. I know some company they have their own private timestamping server, but from a notation point of view, it is flexible. You just need to set what other timestamping server URL to notation during sign. Then that's it.
Interesting. And is there any documentation for this that all that you mentioned about the timestamping server and rotation of
Yeah.
keys? There is?
We have that timestamping. When we support that, we have a blog and user guide for that. I think maybe we can find it and share with you.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
I could search it myself as well, but it would be great if you could.
yeah, we have this timestamping that you can take a look.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks so much. Yeah, this is thanks a lot. Like this is great help. Like it'll help me kind of move forward in using notation. And then if I have any questions, I'll keep joining and intruding in your meetings.
Yeah, sure. And welcome also contributing to the Notary project if you see any issue you want to, yeah, you want to,
100%, yeah.
yeah, pray
100%,
for
yes.
it. Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks so
You,
much.
you beat me to it, Feynman. I was just about to paste in the timestamping, but you got there first.
No worries. I want to call out one of the limitations in Ratify for verification. Actually, as Rao, you just mentioned that you are using HashiCorp as your key management provider.
Mhm.
In Ratify, HashiCorp Vault support is still in the roadmap. It's still not fully supported in the Ratify yet. So we are waiting for folks and we're waiting for contributors to take it. If you're interested, you can also looking at this issue. We are targeting have HashiCorp Vault supported after 2.0 based on the new Ratify framework.
Interesting.
How's your Go knowledge, Rahul?
Yeah, so I've been working with Go for a year now. So
Okay.
it's kind of you could call it novice. I don't know. Uh, I could
Good
look
enough, I
in,
would say.
yeah, I could look into this.
I actually did the work for the Azure Key Vault rotation. So if you're interested and you do want to poke around, you have questions, feel free to hit me up in the Slack, and I can definitely answer any questions you have.
Yeah, if you don't mind, like Josh, if you could, there might be one PR that might define the major crux of your work, right? For the integration of the Azure Vault. If I could just have a look at that and then,
Sure, no
yeah,
problem.
okay, thanks.
I think Feynman, if you want to pull it up, if you just search the ratify close PRs for inversion,
Yeah,
we can get him a link for that.
yeah, no, I can get it. No worries.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Josh, how can I locate your? Maybe I can.
So if you do authors and then put Duphne, yep, there I am, and then search by closed, yep, and then it should say inversion support right there, yep. I think that was the main one.
There is one. I believe this is one that you wanna share with.
I think so. Yeah, and if not, you
No,
could search by my name through the closed PRs and you'll find it.
Yeah, I'll get to it. No worries.
It's the first PR or
I think he'll look through them. There's a couple,
Yeah,
but all
yeah.
those inversion ones are what you're looking for.
Gotcha. And
Yep.
version ones. Yeah, cool.
Okay. I just shared the query link of this issue.
Thank you so much. That's really sweet.
By the way, Rob, which time zone are you in?
I work from EST, the East Coast.
East Coast. Okay.
Yeah.
So your primary end-to-end workflow is to use notation for signing with JFrog as the OCI compliant registry and use HashiCorp Vault as your key management provider. And
Yes,
since all your workflow is on-premise, which is in your self-hosted environment,
correct. Yeah, it's all self-hosted.
is it an air-gapped or it can be accessed the internet?
It can be accessed by. No, I think it's all air-gapped.
Or air-gapped?
Yeah. Uh, you could at some things for some things you could reach out to the internet, but via VPN. So
I see. Okay, it turns out that air-gapped environment support is somehow important for the end-to-end signing workflow in notation and ratify.
gotcha.
Okay, I see folks have to drop in a few minutes. Not sure if you guys have any questions, topics you want to bring up.
I don't have anything left, but it was awesome to see everybody again, familiar faces.
Oh, sorry, Josh, I didn't follow.
Oh, I just said I don't have anything left, but it
Okay,
was
okay.
good to see everybody again.
Yeah,
Been a minute.
nice to see you all. And Ralph, did you get an invite on your calendar for the series of Notary Project US friendly meeting? If
Uh,
not, and forward so that you can save it in your calendar.
yeah, I just followed it from the Slack channel. I just clicked on the Zoom link from the Slack channel.
Okay, if you are in the Slack channel, I may connect with you later and I
Sure.
can forward the meeting series to you. Although it is public available and you can also find it on CNCF public calendar, but I can
Sure.
forward it to you for your convenience.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
All right, if there's nothing else, maybe we can drop earlier and give some time back to folks.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Sounds good. Have a good day, everybody.
You too.
Yeah, folks.